So check it out, man. Somebody broke into our damn Jeep. It didn't happen at the apartment complex, but we were in Oakland after we picked up my wife. I'll tell you the story here in 1 second. I'm gonna go back inside. Now they're coming out to fix this in I think a couple hours. So it happened like 2 days ago. Man.
This is not my final form until I start showing up. Entering the final four. Don't care about brackets though. Triple threat is back by four. The runner-up is done enough. The number one is masterful. Blasphemy is last to me. Simply how it has to be. To lay down a foundation for everyone coming after me. Nothing in life is handed. Not a reason to panic. We don't have to remain a victim, even though we've all been damaged. I don't have to become what I was yesterday.
Okay, so what happened was my wife was on a work trip, and we actually went to Oakland to pick her up. And we stopped to get something to eat, but let's go sit down.
I really wanna be petty and write a battle rap about a battle rapper. Come on. My crew told me not to do that. And I don't wanna give attention to someone that don't deserve it. Why would I ever go
Okay, so here's what happened. My wife was on a work trip. She flew out of Oakland. So obviously she flew back into Oakland. We picked her up on Tuesday. Today is Thursday. It is Thursday, the 12th, December 12th. So this was this past Tuesday. We go pick her up. It's like 5 o'clock. 5:15. She finally gets off the airplane, gets her luggage, gets in the car. She wants to try this macaroni and cheese place, or mac and cheese place called Homeroom. Place is fantastic. Atmosphere is great. It definitely has like that hipster vibe, which is awesome. I kind of like that vibe. But anyways, yeah, we go there, we eat, we're sitting down, we're enjoying our food. Some of the best macaroni and cheese I've ever had in my life. I had the Mexican chorizo and I added chicken. My wife had the Gilroy garlic mac and cheese, and my daughter had like some regular old kids mac and cheese. Best mac and cheese I ever had in my life. But anyways, it's like 6 something, a little after 6, because we're still eating and all that stuff. And we park on 40th Street, which is literally like a block away from this place. There was no upfront parking or anything. Now listen, I typically do not like parking on the street. Anytime I go to San Francisco, I'm always finding a parking garage. And I know, listen, it's not gonna save me from anyone smashing in a window, but I just feel a little bit more secure because most of the garages I am familiar with, because I've been living here for like 5 years now, I always make sure I go to a garage that always has employees that work like around the clock, and that I can actually see security walking up and down and all that stuff. So I always like to go to very particular garages in San Francisco, but in Oakland, I'm not familiar with it. I don't go to Oakland that often. So, okay, we do street parking against my better judgment. Absolutely hate street parking. So that should have been a sign right there. And it's raining. It's absolutely raining. So we're in the restaurant, having a good time, talking, laughing, excited that my wife is back home. And we're starting to leave. You know, we're done eating. We walk back to close to the car. We're crossing the street. But as I'm crossing the street, I start to notice that, and I say to myself and kind of out loud, and my wife heard me, I said, hey, why is the back window open? That's weird. And as soon as I said it, in my mind, I'm saying the F word, because I see clearly what really is going on. Even though I'm not close to the Jeep, I can see like, oh fuck, like someone smashed in the back window. And listen, my wife's luggage, her book bag was in there with her work laptop and all that stuff, was not stolen. Now, listen, I'm typically very good at hiding stuff in the Jeep so you can't see it. Because if you don't know, a lot of these Jeeps, if you get like a higher end model Jeep like we have, there's a cover that goes over your trunk because you know it's all open space. So there's a little cover that snaps in and you just pull it and it covers the trunk, so you literally can't see inside the trunk. So literally that's what I did, because I always do that. Anytime I go to San Francisco, like period, I always close my trunk to where you can't see inside, even if I have nothing in it. But all of my wife's stuff's in there. But what happened was I left my daughter's book bag, which is a little toddler book bag, guys, and her freaking lunchbox. So they bust my window, shattered the glass, everything, and I'm like an hour and a half away from home. So we're in Oakland. Santa Rosa is like an hour and 20-ish, 30 minutes away from Oakland, where we were. That includes traffic. So it's probably less than that without traffic, probably right around an hour or so. But with traffic, it was like an hour and 30 minutes. So yeah, they stole all of my daughter's stuff. Her clothes, because when she goes to school, we always put an extra pair of clothes. And this day was picture day. They were doing some project for school. So basically, they stole her really $100 pair of tennis shoes. Well, they were like $80, not really quite $100. But that's my big thing. I always want my daughter to have comfortable shoes, and that's the one thing I'm gonna pay a premium price for, is to make sure she has quality shoes. Clothes, I don't, clothes are clothes in my opinion. They tear up, they get destroyed. But shoes, I always wanna make sure her feet are very comfortable. But anyways, yeah, in her book bag, she had some jogging pants that weren't that expensive, and her shoes, and small little clothing just in case she has an accident. She's only 4. So yeah, they stole the book bag and they stole her lunchbox. So like it's leading me to believe it was a certain type of person, because a hardened criminal or a legitimate criminal, and I don't think this was a legitimate criminal. I think someone was looking for food, and I'm just being, I'm assuming. I just feel like somebody was looking for food. They saw her lunchbox and saw her book bag and smashed my window. They didn't take anything at all. There was money in my armrest, was not touched. My wife's book bag and all that was in the trunk, again, they couldn't see it, but not touched. Nothing in the car was, my wife even had a Vegas bag, literally like it said Las Vegas on the bag. It had a shirt in it. They didn't even take that. And it was right beside my daughter's lunchbox, which was it's a whole weird situation that the only thing they stole was my daughter's lunchbox and her book bag. And I mean, she took it like a champ, but like, that's what frustrated me the most about the whole thing. And I wanted to talk about this like a few days ago, but I was still angry about the whole situation. And it's like little kid stuff. Why would you steal from a little kid? I just don't understand how you can steal children's stuff out of a car. Like, that's someone's family, and you just stole from their child. Like, I would have much rather money been stolen out the car than my daughter having to experience at 4 years old something being taken away from her. And it's hard for me to explain what happened. I mean, she's conscious and she understands somewhat of what happens. I mean, she's almost relating it towards like YouTube, because she likes watching some of this fun stuff they have on YouTube when they're talking about hackers and all this stuff. So she's like, so the hacker came to the car and he stole our stuff? Is he playing a prank on us? And I'm like, no, it's not a prank. It is not a prank, okay? This is real. And she's assuming that it's this hacker that she watches on YouTube, but it really just breaks my heart. Nothing else stolen but my daughter's stuff. Her clothes, shoes. She had a little light up toy in there, and a lunchbox that had 0 food. So I'm assuming they were going for the lunchbox. And the other thing is, the lunchbox and book bag was a combination frozen. It was like a combination set where she got the book bag, the lunchbox, and a pencil carrier. Like, her grandmother gave her that, and someone stole it. That was like, I mean, I don't care about how much it costs. I care about the shoes, but like the book bag, it's like, that was irreplaceable because her grandmother gave her that. And I don't know, man. I'm frustrated with human beings at this point. It's like, I just don't understand how can you do that? So, like, I could never imagine stealing anything from anyone. I just couldn't do it because, again, I'm always thinking about how they would feel. And I know some people just don't think that way, but that's just who I am. Like, I care about people's emotions, especially if I'm going to directly affect you. I don't want to do that. So I just, it breaks my heart. It makes me angry. And I didn't want to talk about it because I don't want to bring negativity to my life. But it's like sometimes it's better just to get it out and get it off your chest, so I'm not lingering with it. And me and my wife can talk about it, and a lot of my family knows. But sometimes it's just good to express how I'm feeling, and I'm just frustrated and angry at the fact that I had to drive an hour and a half. One had to drive an hour and a half in the rain. It was pouring down raining. Oh, almost got choked. It was pouring down raining. I stopped, and we basically had to find a way to cover it, and it was halfway covered to where we could somewhat keep warm. My daughter was freezing in the back seat, and I was doing everything heat blasting. It's like freaking 40 degrees outside, pouring down rain, and like I'm not trying to drive crazy, so we've cleaned up a lot of the glass, but you don't know. It's dark. It's like 6 o'clock at night, and like you don't know what can fly up. I basically bought I basically bought a shower curtain and cut it up to where it would fit around the door to try my best to keep the rain out. And like she's freezing, and like that's what people don't understand, how you affect people. And I know they don't care. A lot of people just care about themselves, and that's what's wrong with this world. But anyways, guys, I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to share that because it just made me so damn angry that someone stole my daughter's stuff. One, broke my window, stole my daughter's stuff, only her stuff. And it was basically, a book bag and a lunchbox that had sentimental value to her because her grandmother gave it to her, or her nana. And we can replace it, but still she knows that it's gone. There was no way around it. She knows that it's gone. She saw the broken window. She knows that her book bag and her lunchbox is gone, and her light up toy. I mean, they didn't get anything but some shoes that I'm pretty sure they couldn't sell because they were a little dirty. But other than that, there was no food. She ate all her food. She's good at eating her food, and I'm happy for that. Whoever stole it is not going to be eating on her dime. But anyways, I'm out of here. See you guys in the next video.
And I don't wanna give attention to someone I don't deserve it. Why would I ever go do that? Do that. Seize the day, ease the pain, change the way I see the day. Every day I gotta do that, do that. And if I have a moment to say something, why wouldn't I say something? Only right, I do that, do that. Everything changed the day I met the big homies. Future Shock, they put me on and never stopped praying for me. Now I finally grew up and they say that they proud of me.